Do you have the scoreboard? Okay, sweet. And welcome back to Field 2 for this Division 3 men's matchup between the Arizona Hawks and the St. Louis Blues. Patrick Machado, Adam Gomolinski, as we get this game underway. Tap down, Hawks on the ball. Richard Lozano runs it out wide. Now kicks it towards the 50. It's a low bouncing kick. Darren Bateman with the handball away. Now the pack forms up. Running onto it is Steven Zeshnik. Deep inside the Arizona 50. Now up top.
Moving kick.
It's a long one, and it's a goal. Big kick from Andrew Wang.
Huge goal there. Turned around on his left and went bang.
And the Hawks open up the scoring. 1 straight 6, the Hawks. Blues yet to score.
Are you fine with how I've...
Back into the middle. Schuetz-Peltz roll. Thumps one forward for the Hawks. Congested inside the center square. Brad Palumbo goes to ground. And it's caught up between the pack of players, and the ump will try to separate them. On the edge of the square, ball up. Tapped down by Darren Henderson. Blues are able to get the clearance as they just soccer it further up the ground. Umpire calls play on. Andrew Wang on the ball. Up against the boundary line, far side. Trying to get a handball away. Ball came out in the tackle, but not before the umpire called it dead, and he'll ball it up. Stephen Webster with the tap forward.
Got out of that tackle and kicked it forward.
Good spoil from the Hawks player running onto that mark to keep it moving towards the Hawks territory. Brad Palumbo in there with Nicholas Hall. Tapped away. Derek Shotwell in there for the Blues. A lot of this game's been played inside the center square. Should be a really congested game by the opening stages of this, and just a floating kick taken by Tim Duckworth.
And as a good defender does, he's standing in the right position to intercept the ball.
Directing traffic towards half forward. 2-on-2 contest, and the Blues player gets a hand to it. Centers one up, and good intercept mark from the St. Louis Blues. Now up the near side, unable to take the mark was Tim Duckworth. Punched forward by Daniel Whitaker. On it is Kyle Strensky. Strensky tried to slap it forward, taken away by the Hawks. Charlie Mills now up the near side. Tried to handball it away. Play on the call. Handballed back. Daniel Whitaker again. Just gets boot to ball. Bounces towards the 50. Taken by the Hawks. Up the near side. One hop bounce to Peter Nagel, who gets a small little kick away. Fisted away. Players go to ground. Derek Shotwell hugged up against the line. Just gets a kick away. Schroeder unable to get his hands on it. Schuetz-Peltz roll. Derek Shotwell.
Great team tackle there by the Arizona Hawks.
Incorrect disposal to call. Now up the near side wing. Ball misses the pack of players as they overrun it. High contact. It'll be a free kick the way of the Hawks.
And that's what happens when you go in first to the ball. And that was pretty much beast mode. Just went straight in for the ball and earned himself a free kick.
Here's the kick to half forward. Good mark taken by Ian Payne from Baltimore, who sends one to the top of the square. Rolls out wide. Good pressure there by Dalton Foster.
Coming
Centers
back.
1 to goal, and
Must be behind.
it's through for a behind. So 1-1-7. The Arizona Hawks, St. Louis Blues yet to score on the Watch AFL scoreboard. About 5 minutes into this opening term. Kicks one out wide to Alex Tajowski. Continues up that far side. Off hands. Dove on top of the ball. Brought back into the contest, and it'll be ball up. Umpire throws it up to the sky. Getting the tap on it is Steven Webster forward towards the Hawks attacking area. Handballs it out to Derek Shotwell. Had to get it loose, and
Clean pick up there.
just on the edge of the Blues 50. Little soccer out wide. First on the ball is Charlie Mills of the Arizona Hawks. Blues still control though. Little dribbling kick, and it'll go just wide of the post for a behind. So Blues are on the board, back to a straight kick margin. 1-1-7 the Arizona Hawks, one behind the Blues on the Watch AFL scoreboard.
Been a very even contest so far.
A very congested game as well.
Yeah. Looks like a long kick out wide.
Underneath the ball was Ian Payne. He couldn't take the mark cleanly. Blues control. Kyle Strensky will kick it towards the top of the square, and just unable to take the mark was Charlie Mills. And that would have been a real easy shot for goal if he was able to corral that one in. But it'll instead be a ball up just in front of the St. Louis Blues goal. Thrown up into the air. Webster got the tap to it. Now towards the near side
Great
pocket.
second effort tackle. And holding the ball. Great second effort tackle.
Good defense from the Hawks. Plays on quickly. Good mark there. Now they're going to go down the line. And Charlie Mills stopped on the mark. And this will roll over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Probably needs to get it a bit deeper there. I think having that possession go into the boundary line doesn't really help Arizona there. So next time you probably want to kick it a bit longer just to get it out of the space and more in towards your attacking 50.
Toss back into play. It's a low throw-in, and the umpire will direct it to be done over. Second effort, umpire deems is appropriate. Taken on the full by Chajowski. And this should be an incorrect disposal, and it's paid, and the St. Louis Blues will get the free. And they'll get a 50-meter penalty as well, as Charlie Mills encroached on the area.
We're seeing a lot of 50-meter penalties already today, and it's only 9:30, just towards 9:30.
Already a few in 2 games. Plays on was Joel Friesen. Scott Schroeder over at the near side pocket. And I think it'll be a free for the Blues, as Angel Iguinez Jr. will go back to kick from a very sharp angle. Goes the drop punt. Players go up for the ball. No one's able to cleanly take possession, and it'll be a boundary throw. At the very least, this will center the ball for the Blues as they look to kick their first goal of the game. Thrown back into play. Hawks got first touch on the ball. Kick towards goal out of the contest, and the Blues tie the game up.
Well, they're calling for a bit of a touch there, aren't they? There's some consultation. No, they've played the goal, so I thought it was a goal, but there was a few players putting their arms up saying, I've touched it, umpire, touched it, umpire.
So Derek Shotwell able to get the goal out of congestion, and it's 1-1-7 for both the Arizona Hawks and the St. Louis Blues on the Watch AFL scoreboard.
And Derek's actually part of the national team. So good to see him set the standard and get that goal.
So knotted up at 7 here. About midway into this first term. And it'll be a free kick paid before the contest to the Arizona Hawks. Maybe a ruck infringement. So the Hawks go forward. Able to handball it out back. Nicholas Hall. And high contact called by the umpire. And it'll be a free kick for the Hawks.
Handball's off.
Yep, handball out to Darren Henderson, who looks towards the top of the square. Good clunk. And this should be an easy shot at goal.
Really intriguing game so far. Loving it. Good contest, good skills, and very even across the board.
So Logan Nelson took that mark. And a chance to retake the lead for Arizona. Puts it straight through the middle. And the Hawks regain the lead.
Excellent. Some good play there. Well, obviously they had the free kick out of the midfield, which they capitalised on. So, again, the biggest thing you always got to say to yourself is undisciplined play worth it? And there you can see it's not.
Sometimes it burns you, sometimes it doesn't. This one results in a goal for the Hawks. It's 2-1-13 Arizona, 1-1-7 St. Louis on the Watch AFL scoreboard. Back into the middle. Punched forward by Stephen Webster. No prior opportunity. This will just gain a few meters closer to the St. Louis goal. Thrown up once again. Hawks win the tap this time. Little volleyball action as no one can gain clean possession out of it. Handball out wide. Joel Friesen just puts it into space. Blues surround the ball. Paul Xavier. Now kick towards the Hawks 50. Mark Pulitz. As they go to work. And the Blues will kick it out wide. Jack Jacobs first on the ball. With it is Jack Butler. And free kick to the St. Louis Blues. Into the path of Derek Shotwell, who runs onto the ball. Will kick it inside 50. Had an option on short, went long instead. The players go to work. Handballed out by Andrew Olding. It's a little scrum. Tapped down by Scott Schroeder.
Off the ground. Looks like a behind.
Yeah, just a hurried kick off the ground, looking to get it close to goal on an aggressive shot. Just goes across the face, 1-2-8. The Blues plays two straight 12 for 2-1-13, excuse me, for the Hawks.
A lot of space here. Can the player run onto it? Great shepherd by number 25, who is Andrew Wang. Great shepherd there.
Nelson couldn't take the mark. Close on the boundary. Tapped at by Andrew Wang. Saving it at the line with Stephen Webster. Just kicked into just a little kick to try to keep it in, and Paul Xavier content to see it over the line for a throw-in.
Sometimes it's just important just to get the ball forward, even a meter, you know? Just keep moving it forward. Watch out. Oh. We've got a learning experience here by the boundary umpire, but that's where you got to start somewhere. I mean, this is my second day of this, and hopefully I've improved from yesterday. I mean, yell out if I have or haven't. Always open to feedback.
Friesen kicks to the outer wing, half forward. Marking it was Orion Peterson. And almost taking that mark with Scott Schroeder at the top of the square. Instead, it'll result in a contest as the players all surround the ball, and it'll be a ball up just outside the Blues' goal. Thrown back into play. Double-handed tap down. Joel Friesen has first chance. Handballed out wide to 15, Michael Kitching, and it'll be holding the ball as the Hawks avoid giving up the lead there. Multiple dangerous chances for the Blues.
I would essentially say that was a goal-saving tackle then, and that's what they say. Never give up on the play. He didn't give up, and it was a goal-saving tackle.
Taylor Marchman on the ball, able to handball it out wide to Ian Payne. Payne delivers inside 50. He's on to an uncontested man, unable to take the mark. Crumbing on it is Tyler Sawyer. And I think that was incorrect disposal. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, that was incorrect disposal. The umpire gave him a short amount of time, but I think it was the right decision.
Tried to hurry up that kick as he was going towards goal, uncontested. Joel Friesen now in the center square as the Blues look to move forward once again. So missed opportunities on both sides in a very close, congested game. It's 2-1-13. The Arizona Hawks plays 1-2-8. The St. Louis Blues on the Watch AFL scoreboard.
Yeah, only a goal in it, so it's definitely opened up, but really, as you're saying, just really contested ball here. Sorry, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And let's hope someone can take a bit of a stronghold here.
So late stages in the first half of play. Kicked up the far side boundary. Jack Butler on it as the players converge around the footy. Play on the call. Hawks still on the ball, now looking deep. Jack Jacobs now looks forward, plays it into space. Forward line pushes up. Now back into the midfield, the ball comes. Surrounded by Hawks was Matthew Dunn. And the Hawks move forward. Handball out wide. Moving towards the 50 as the long kick will just roll over for a boundary throw. A pretty far kick for the Arizona Hawks player on the run, unable to steer it on goal.
Looks like out of bounds, so it's a good opportunity here for Arizona.
It'll be a throw-in pretty much centered in front of goal, taken on the full by Preston Linzer, but the throw-in wasn't high enough, so they'll redo it. Won a fair contest directly in front of goal. Crumbed out to Derek Shotwell, who clears the line for the Blues. Takes a bounce. Orion Peterson got a hand to it. Stuck in the feet of Jack Butler, who picks it up. Now the handball chain begins for the Hawks. Abernathy with a short kick over to Darren Henderson, now looking out wide. Mark taken. Going back is Tim Duckworth as he directs traffic. And he will go back and take his time on this. A long lead up. Goes to the top of the square. And the Blues take possession off of that kick.
Needed some crummers there, just front and center, but away with St. Louis it is. And what an absolutely creative kick out of the pack that was.
Good footy smarts there. The kick off of the handball. And Matthew Dunn wrapped up in the tackle, and it'll be a free kick for the Blues.
Again, never gave up on that play and got the free kick for the reward for effort.
Have to move quickly. Siren could go at any second. Kicked out towards the boundary, and it'll roll out for a throw-in. Not much time left in this first half. Blues will be looking to get a goal to take the lead before the siren goes. Thrown back into play. Darren Henderson got a tap to it. Scott Schroeder centers one to the top of the square. And a good effort in defense for the intercept mark.
Great mark there.
Good defense from Tim Duckworth. Looks up the far wing. Derek Shotwell in there for the Blues. Here's the kick inside 50.
Got to move it quickly, otherwise they're not going to miss out an opportunity before this. There we go. I know. Another
That
field.
might have, yeah, that would be the field 5 directly next to us. It'll be a throw in deep inside the Blues 50. And there goes our siren. So Blues unable to capitalize on the chance late here in the first half, but it's a very close matchup between these two sides. A straight kick in it. It's 2-1-13 the Arizona Hawks and 1-2-8 the St. Louis Blues. And we'll be back for the second half in just a few minutes. You're watching the USAFL 2023 National Championships on USAFL.com, brought to you by Gridiron Productions. Welcome back to Field 2 for the Arizona Hawks and the St. Louis Blues here at the USAFL Nationals. It's Patrick Machado on the call along with Adam Gomolinsky of the Aussie Rules the World podcast. It's a 5-point ball game here on Field 2, 13 plays, 8. Arizona Hawks with the lead.
And you can definitely feel the wind's definitely picking up now. It looks like it's going across the field though, so it doesn't seem like will have much of an advantage for both teams. So let's see how they can use the wind to their advantage.
Yeah, yesterday it was, again, we had those crosswinds, but it was still directing towards the goals on the right side of the field that the Hawks will be kicking at this half. Rolling ball towards the near side. Derek Shotwell got the handball away before the tackle. Ball still caught in congestion. Picking it up is Peter Nagel.
Great settle kick there.
Kyle Strensky will run inside the 50. A low dribbler kick to the top of the square. Picked up by the Blues. Now wrapped up in a 2-on-2 scrum. Umpire says, I'll have it. They'll ball it up about 30 meters out from goal.
Didn't help his teammate much there by handballing him to a contest, so it's wrapped up straight away, but it's in their forward 50, so it might work out.
Tapped down by the Hawks ruck. Nicholas Hall on it. Soccer to the boundary line by Joel Friesen, and it'll be a boundary throw. Very early stages in this second half of play. Toss back into play as the winds, like you mentioned, beginning to really pick up. While it looks like we will have lighter winds sustained as there's a holding the ball free going the way of the the Hawks.
And that was a really good tackle. He grabbed him by the hips, is where you get taught, and really clamped down on him and got the reward for effort.
Kicked up to the middle. Good diving mark by Nicholas Hall. Hall now overlooks his options. Will kick it into the corridor. Good mark by Ian Payne, and he'll stop and wait for his team to flood the 50. And here's the kick to the top of the goal square. It doesn't have the journey. It bounces, and it's a goal!
Some might call that 100 meters, some might call that 90, some might call that 80. I'm going to call it 200.
Ian Payne with the long one to open the lead up for the Hawks. It's 3-1-19 Arizona, 1-2-8 St. Louis on the Watch AFL scoreboard.
The way in which the game's going so far, a goal that opens it up a bit further. It's only 3 goals to 1 goal, but that could be the difference here.
So the Blues find themselves down by 11 points. Derek Shotwell out of the ruck. Kicked out to the side by Steven Webster. On the ball is Daniel Whitaker. Whitaker up the line. Umpire calls play on. Handballed out further to Alex Tajowski. He's surrounded by Hawks. Now the ball in dispute. And it'll be a ball up, no prior opportunity, close on the line. Toss back up into the air. 50-50 out of the ruck. Slapped forward by Joel Friesen. Hawks run onto the ball. Now surrounded by players. He's able to get a kick away. Bouncing ball. Gains some meters for the Hawks. He has a bounce. Now looks to deliver a kick inside. Over kicked it. And Dalton Foster will be... I think this will actually be a free. Actually, no, it won't. Dalton Foster thought it was going to be a free. He let it go out, but it'll instead be a throw-in deep inside the Hawks' territory.
With the wind going at the moment, you probably got to aim really far left towards the behind post, just so it can go closer to the goals. The wind's really picking up at the moment.
Yeah, these early games won't have as much of an advantage as one from 1 o'clock will, as we'll have sustained winds of about 13 miles an hour But the gusts is where the story's going to be. Kick towards goal and a good mark on the goal line by the St. Louis Blues.
Yep, it's like a soccer goalie there.
And umpire's going to blow the whistle, I think. The goal umpire is going to check with the field umpire.
So I believe you got to
they played on too quickly.
Well, I believe you got to give 10 meters from where the mark is. So the umpire was just pushing the player back to where he should be.
Yeah, he'll give the warning.
Yep.
Tajowski marks. We'll look up the near side. Kick kind of went awry of where he was intending to put it. Tarascolo now puts it back inside the Hawks 50. Ground ball. Pushed out wide. Ian Payne delivers to the goal line and kicked out by the Blues. Joe Friesen couldn't mark it. Soccered off the ground. Now the Hawks deliver once again at the top of the square. It's touched. On the ball was Orion Peterson. And it'll be through for a behind.
The defender there was in the right position just to corral the ball a bit more, just put that extra bit of pressure on and didn't allow the player not to capitalize on the goal, which is obviously great defense there by Arizona.
So chaos in front of goal.
Sorry, St. Louis.
Yeah, chaos in front of goal led to a minor score. Ian Payne on the boundary. Kicked forward by Jack Butler into the pocket. Tyler Sawyer overran it, and it'll go over the line for a throw-in. 3-2-20 the Hawks, 1-2-8 the Blues in a 12-point ball game about midway into this second half. They'll redo that throw-in, but I will get to that. I will get to the point that of the win that I was trying to make earlier. The gusts today are going to be worse than yesterday, and a west-southwest wind of 22 miles an hour at its top.
It's going to be interesting to see how the teams will take advantage of that when they're going to that end. But I guess, you've got to just keep pushing towards the change, because I think that it's ever-changing weather today.
It's not just whoever can take advantage, it's how the defense can make a stop when you have the disadvantage, and especially if it's the first half, it'll be pushing the back. And a Blues free kick.
I think he got away with one there. Wait, some might call that a flop.
Friesen handballs it out to Alex Tajowski, who delivers forward. Missing the mark. Peter Abernathy takes possession for the Hawks, but kicks it straight to Joel Friesen in the center circle. Now looking forward.
We're only on our second game of the day, and it's already dried up the whole of the field after such a dewy morning.
Yeah, the ball is definitely taking a lot livelier of a bounce as we saw in that first game, so should be an adjustment period from the first half. In a close ball game, 2 straight kicks in it.
St. Louis really need to get a goal here just to settle their own. We might be having
on the call.
Having a few little issues here on the boundary.
Joel Friesen hugged up against the boundary line. Now delivers to the top of the square. Couldn't mark it. Was Torrey Kurt. Excuse me, that was Ian Payne. Now kicked out to the center square. Hawks run onto the ball. They move forward. Now kick to the edge of 50. Over the heads of the players at the contest. Calling for it on the wide side was Michael Tarascolo, who plays on. I would have gone back and took the shot. Instead, it'll be a minor score for the Hawks. 3-3-21 Arizona plays 1-2-8 St. Louis on the Watch AFL scoreboard.
So Michael had some great run there. I actually was watching him. He actually ran all the way from half back just to collect that ball. He ran into the open space. Unfortunately, he couldn't capitalize, but great running. And next time it happens, hopefully he kicks a goal. But as I said before, you got to aim for that left goal post.
There's a really good lead, too, and good vision from the player with the ball to spot him.
Absolutely.
The Blues turn it back the other way. Here's the kick to the edge of 50. It's a 2-on-1 scrum. Again, the ball overruns the contest. Blues first on the ball. Michael Kitching. Soccered off the ground by Strensky. Hawks converge on it, and they'll try to turn it back the other way on a counterattack. Now looking towards the center. 2-on-2 contest. Chased after by Mark Pullitz. And it'll go over the boundary line for a throw-in. About 10 minutes into this second term.
I mean, anyone's game. It's still only 2 goals, 1 in it. So if they can get a quick goal here, it could be definitely wide open. But I guess if Arizona gets the next goal, it might shut the door.
Tapped down by Henderson. And contest finds the line again. So
got to wonder what's going into the strategy here of both teams. They're definitely willing themselves, and it's a great contested game. I guess the difference really is those 2 goals.
Free kick goes the way of the Hawks.
Bit of kicking in danger.
So Jack Butler will take his time, allow his team to set up. Play on the call. Shakes past Shotwell. Delivers on short. Unable to take the mark. And umpire will call high contact. And the ball will go back to the Blues.
Gotta get it long here. As he does.
Looks towards the square. Tapped down by Shotwell. Friesen gets it. Handball received to Webster. Looks out wide to the wing, and you can really see the wind take that ball back.
Absolutely.
Like, again, very similar of yesterday. The ball kind of arrests in the air. And that one almost moved backwards. Hugged up against the far line. Ball in dispute on the ground. Able to handball it out as the pack converges on it. A rugby-style scrum picked up by the Hawks. Still trying to escape it. Misses the kick. Incorrect disposal. Blues will get a free kick.
So the Blues, again, just get further you get the ball and really build up that contest, the quicker you're going to get down to the forward line.
And again, that scrum ensues, this time closer to the center of the ground, and the Hawks wanted that to be a free kick for dragging the ball under the contest, says Jack Butler. Umpire is not going to give it. Instead, he tosses the ball into the air. Tapped forward by the Blues. Running on it are the Hawks. A kick out into some open space, and it's going to be a trip.
A kicking in danger.
Oh, kicking in danger. Free. Butler up the wing. Little high footy to the edge of 50. Almost able to take that clunk. It was a good. Jack Jacobs goes down and still play on. Umpire crosses his arms. He'll ball it up.
And this is exactly the football Arizona want. They want it held in, reduced time left on the clock, and as the seconds go down, they're getting closer to that win.
Just about 10 minutes left in this one, a little bit under 10 minutes. 21 plays 8, the Hawks in front.
High tackle there.
Easy to spot, and the Hawks get a free once again.
Derek not happy with that decision, but looks like he... And a 50-meter penalty. No, sorry, my bad. Not a 50-meter penalty.
That might have been another field you were hearing. Play on, calls the umpire.
Work to his advantage.
Ground. Aiden Smith will boot it towards the line. Tapped down by Chajowski. Runs onto the ball, suckers it off the ground. And it will roll over the line for a throw. So Ballin in the middle. Taken on the full by Henderson. Doesn't do much to separate them, and umpire will try once again. Toss to the heavens. Blues get the tap. Following it up on it was Strensky. Still they can't separate the boys. Umpire will try again. Repeat stoppages favoring the Hawks as we inch closer and closer to the full-time siren. Tossed up once again. Tap down. Hawks get the possession. Kick smothered by Kitching. Kick forward. Good mark in defense by the Blues. Looks to the center of the ground. Wynn carries it over to the far wing. It essentially switches the play. Friesen will look back towards the corridor once again. Good mark. Tracking it down was Xavier. Xavier pushes his team forward. Friesen with the overlapping run. Now they're going to try this near side wing. Friesen plays on. Little drop punt to half forward to a one-on-one. Just drops in front of the Blues. Jack Jacobs follows it up to the center of the ground. Spoiled by the Hawks. Diving on top of the ball. Umpire circling around the contest. It'll be a ball up.
And it was great play by there. They were able to get it forward pretty quickly, and this is a great opportunity for the Blues.
Most dangerous opportunity for the Blues this half thus far. Turned over, unable to get the kick away. Little low footy, might have been smothered off the boot. Turning around and kicking the goal is Richard Lozano, and that's what the Blues needed.
It's not over yet.
Not over yet. 2 goals for the Blues now.
Great goal. That turned around on his body, snapped the shoulder. Exactly what the Blues needed. I really love the play you got moving it forward. You had the 2 players here kick back to each other. And clean disposal is always going to win you the game. And we saw a great piece of possession there with the tackle and turned into a goal. And this game's wide open.
Back to a 7-point ball game. It's 3-3-21. The Arizona Hawks place 2-2-14. The Blues on the Watch AFL scoreboard. Anderson with the tap forward for the Hawks. Looking for that far wing. Charlie Mills chases. Pushing the back. It'll be a Blues free. Hawks player couldn't mark it. Handballed back. And the contest ensues. It'll be a ball game here. About 5 minutes remaining in this one. Maybe a little bit less. Hawks have to go up the ground, and this wind is really starting to work against them now as it picks up as this game's really starting to get good.
Well, I feel like the breeze is definitely favouring maybe the left-hand side a little bit now, but it's pretty much coming towards us, so it's coming across the ground as we were saying before.
Kick forward to gain some meterage, and the Hawks will just look to hold this up as long as they can, and umpire crosses his arms. It's just bleeding more and more time off the clock. Toss back up into the air. Hawks win the tap. Joel Friesen on the ball for the Blues. That ball is essentially just a pop-up kick with the wind keeping it in place, and it'll be a Hawks free kick.
And looks like we might finally have from the previous goal. St. Louis Blues in the defense now. This is a great
up the far side wing on a one hop to Angel Iglesias Jr. Holding the ball, the call, and the Hawks will get a free, and that is critical. Critical at this late juncture of the game. Kicked over to half forward. One hops over the Hawks player. Couldn't corral the ball. One inside 50, and Tim Duckworth with to the top of the square, and that should ice it for the Arizona Hawks.
Great work there by the Hawks. Beautiful tackle in the middle of the ground. Found the open man. Found the other open man, and now we're lining up for a goal. Pretty much to ice the game. Hey, I bet you
have numbers for, but milking up every second of clock as the siren goes. This one for the capper. It bends back, and it's a goal. Great. Final score here at Field 2. 4-3-27. Arizona Hawks beat the St. Louis Blues 2-2-14 on the Watch AFL scoreboard.
What a game! What a game by Arizona. I think in the first half, It was quite even. It kind of stemmed the flow into the second half, but then Arizona kept them away. And as we kind of said earlier in the game, that goal margin that they kept on having kind of just kept the distance, and they got the win at the end of the day.
It was a really good game, close game. Blues came back at the end of the second half, but it was unfortunately too little, too late, as the Hawks repeat stoppages was able to ice this game and take the victory here on Field 2. Coming up next will be Seattle versus Baltimore in just about 13 minutes time. Stay tuned. This is the 2023 USAFL Nationals.